So I did an almost 3-day vegetable and fruit cleanse. I'll explain what I mean in a few, but first I want to show you all the meals that I did, that I consumed rather from day one, day two to day three. All right, let's go.
It's my first meal, and as you see, I'm not, you know, going light. Get a bowl full of it. All right, so here's my lunch on day one meal. Number two, some spinach and mushrooms, and then some sauteed vegetables that we had from the other day, peppers and onions. Dessert, grapes, bananas, and almond slivers. All right, here's my dinner. So again, some sauteed spinach, mushrooms, some peppers, green and red. There's garlic in there too, and then some sauteed broccoli that my wife made. So they're having like this other dish with pasta and whatnot, but I basically got what they got without the pasta and then without the chicken, just vegetables. All right, so meal number one today is a smoothie from Smoothie King. This is the Daily Warrior, one of my favorites. But I got the stevia taken out, and I substituted the peanut butter. I substituted almond butter for the peanut butter. Or I mean, the vice versa. Instead of peanut butter, I got almond butter. Is what I'm trying to say. So yeah, 32 ounce, so that hopefully I can get some satiation. But yeah, smoothie. All right, here we have. All right, here we have some sauteed zucchini and red onion. Put some avocado in there because I like avocado, and I'm gonna add a little bit of salsa here to the top of that as well, just to add some sort of little something to it. This is lunch day two, and here it is, by the way, the salsa on there. Yeah. So first we got a bowl of collard greens, a big bowl of greens, and some broccoli, which I'm throwing together. Sauteed in olive oil, and some a little salt and garlic.
Okay, so hopefully you're able to see the content of the meals, breakfast, lunch, and dinner that I had days 1 through 3. You probably noticed I did not have dinner posted for day three. That's because it was Friday and I just ate a pretty normal dinner with my family. Specifically, it was Mexican. I had corn, fish tacos with corn tortillas with refried beans and rice, and then we had guacamole and salsa and chips and stuff like that. So that's what I had. Now, why did I do a cleanse? The reason why I did a cleanse mainly is because just trying to make sure overall that I'm healthy, and also kind of dealing helping me to recover and deal with some lingering joint pain, more specifically like in my knees and somewhat not necessarily my shoulder joints, but like right under here on both sides. Now I believe it's due to just exercise in general, but it's like it's lingering from that, and I'm trying to facilitate better recovery from my workouts. I do a lot of chin ups, and so like even many years ago, I actually pulled these muscles underneath my arms. So I think that's kind of where some of that lingering inflammation is. That's why it's kind of there, because those muscles get worked a lot by my all the chin ups I do, and then the various exercises I do for my legs, is kind of causing some knee discomfort. Not necessarily when I'm walking around and stuff, but more so like when I have my knees bent for a while, or sometimes whenever I maybe do deep squats and stuff like that. Um, but yeah, so that's the main reason, like for that inflammation or whatever. I'm trying to like really kind of even that out and kind of like facilitate better recovery. Is why I'm doing that. And then also because I think it's good. Um, in general. Now, what did I feel while I was doing this vegetable and fruit cleanse? So first of all, the first day, I'm gonna try not to do TMI, but the first day I noticed I was having to go to the restroom a lot, like in the sense of like almost as if I had been drinking a lot of water, but I wasn't drinking a lot of water. Now, eating stuff like watermelon and various fruits and vegetables and whatnot, I do think that is a pretty decent water content, but maybe I'm not sure why, to be honest. So I don't even want to speak. Well, it could be something with sodium or whatever. My body just getting rid of water. Um, I did also know that was really the first day. I did notice, and I'm not going to go into detail with this. I did notice ease, and I just leave that there. If you don't know what I'm talking about, then just don't worry. Don't worry about it. Um, I also noticed that I felt light. I just felt lighter. I felt like I didn't really have as much stuff on the inside of me, like in any sense of that, like food, but then just also just kind of like just in general in my digestive system. I just felt lighter, but I was often hungry. I was often hungry. Every meal that I had to have more. I had to have more than one serving for sure, maybe even more than two servings. Because the thing is, when you're consuming non-starchy vegetables and whatnot and fruits, then it tends to be light. The foods that tend to be a lot more filling are like your proteins and your fats, you know. But like some of those, like the non-starchy vegetables, very nutrient dense, but you can eat a whole lot of them. That the cool thing is that you can eat a lot of them and then still not really have an issue with gaining weight. But then also you have to eat a pretty high volume to be satiated. So, how am I doing moving forward? The cool thing about cleanses and fasts and whatnot is that it helps you to feel a way that you don't want to not feel. So, like, I intend to maintain much of this throughout every normal week, Monday through Friday mainly. On the weekend, I may kind of chill somewhat, just kind of eat, for example, normal breakfasts, and stuff like that. Like I say, largely, I may, like, so for example, like mainly fruit in the morning and mainly non-starchy vegetables in the afternoon, especially once my kids go back to school, because I don't have to worry about going and making them something separate or buying them something separate from me and stuff like that. Um, because I really want to maintain a lot of like the feeling that I felt. I also want to kind of avoid certain grains for a while, especially like flour and like wheat. I mean, I don't think I have an issue with wheat, but it tends to be one of those that can be a little problematic, and because of the gluten and whatnot. I don't think I'm gluten sensitive, but I still want to do that. Rice, I think I'm gonna eat that, but just not as much. Maybe more so in the evening if I eat it at all. And I also want to maintain this eating regimen to some degree because, as I've told you guys before, I do like fast pretty often. And when I say fast, I mean like a fast, like 24 hours at least, um, or 36 hours of not eating anything, just consuming water. And eating in this way, actually, I think will suit. It'll set me up better for a fast versus just coming off of eating something that's not necessarily that good for me and going into a fast. I think that makes fasting more difficult. I think it makes fasting more difficult when you come off of a fast, like that. So, and I wanna kind of maintain this to kind of like keep on cleansing, kind of like kind of make the cleansing kind of build on itself, if that makes sense, so that I can really, really kind of make sure that I'm not dealing with extra or excess rather inflammation, and stuff like that. Really facilitating better healing, better recovery. I notice at this age, being 40 years old, it's still hard for me to say that. I noticed that recovery is a little different. It is. It is. It's like I feel a lot like I always have. But I do notice recovery is a little different, and so I'm really trying to listen to my body and give it what it needs, um, so that I can be the best that God created me to be. Just really take care of this body. Okay. All right. So hopefully this motivates you to want to go on a cleanse or whatever. You may need to check with your doctor or something like that, especially depending on what your current health state is. But hey, vegetables and fruits, man. Vegetables and fruits. I try to keep it real simple so I didn't go trying to figure out stuff. I wasn't trying to get no impossible meat. I wasn't trying to get no fake, like soy burger. I wasn't trying to do all that kind of stuff. I just kept it with whole foods. That's it. Cooked, raw, whatever. Mainly cooked in my well, yeah, I say most probably 60% cooked, 70% cooked. Um, but then with that, not necessarily cook hard either, if that makes sense. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you've gone on a cleanse or you plan on going on a cleanse. And have a good one. If you're 35 to 50 years old and wanting to lose weight, get stronger, and become more athletic, but you keep finding yourself hitting roadblocks like aches and pains, stuck at the same weight, lack of motivation, even wondering if your fitness goal is impossible to reach, I got something for you. My exclusive fitness support consists of my daily fitness mindset mornings every weekday morning, where I teach you the mindset that fit people use to achieve high levels of health and fitness, and where you can ask me your specific health and fitness questions so that you can finally get unstuck. You also get access to my video workout library, as well as my fat loss workbook, fitness journal, and other helpful fitness related downloads we have available on our Patreon. If that sounds good to you and you're ready to change your mind so that you can finally change your body, your health, and your life, join us now at patreon.com/Shawn B2B Fitness.